Hello, guys. Thank you for joining me for a tarot message. We're also using oracle cards, the Art of War oracle cards, with this tarot message. So let's get into the message. And I want to first thank the Most High for giving me this gift of tarot. And I'm grateful to deliver messages that help the collective who watches this channel. And I hope that these messages are serving you guys well as you guys are working towards your goals. So, we have the Six of Wands here, supported by the Emperor and the Knight of Cups. So, a masculine figure who is in the public eye. A masculine figure who is in the public eye could have been emulating leadership energy. They could have been emulating as if they have everything together. But the truth of the reality is they can easily be controlled and manipulated by their emotional state. With this Death card and the Knight of Cups here, with this Six of Wands here, they may be afraid of their true emotional state and vulnerabilities coming out, because this can put an end to them. So there is someone who is in the public eye, a masculine energy, whose emotional state is their weakness, and they don't actually want the people that support them to know about it, because they're aware they have frenemies among them, and those frenemies could use their emotional vulnerabilities against them to put an end to their reign. And we also have the Wheel of Fortune, King of Pentacles, and then we also have the Six of Swords, supported by the Ten of Wands in reverse. I'm also going to read this Ten of Wands as if it's upright. So, but I'm also picking up that we can learn from the very first message: master your emotions. The reason that the masculine energy feels that they're being targeted is because they have not learned to master their emotions. So their vulnerability is they're afraid of others being aware of their lack of mastered emotions and using their emotional state against them. Now, before I get into these cards, let's talk about it logically. If someone takes the time to get into the public eye without actually understanding what exactly is they're asking for, and they act as if they've mastered emotions, but they actually have been neglecting their emotions and tending to the responsibilities that come with upkeep of external validation, I'm feeling as if the lack of knowledge that they had before, they're aware of it now. with this 10 of clubs here, 10 of wands here, I'm feeling as if the lesson you can learn from them is to master your emotions. No matter what accomplishment or success you're going after, master your emotions so that others cannot master you by exploiting your emotional vulnerabilities. Mastering your emotions allows it so that if anyone does try to emotionally manipulate you, you can remain in your power. So I picked up on a masculine energy who their emotional vulnerabilities may be being exploited. If it hasn't happened now, it will happen. Because the people that they thought they could trust is using their emotional vulnerabilities against them. And perhaps this is part of their karmic debt to pay off for having emotionally manipulated people in the past. Now, with the 10 of wands showing up, the responsibility of upkeep, of making sure external validation stays on the healthier side of things, it came with them neglecting their emotional health. So that masculine energy I channeled could be picking up on how others trauma dumped onto them, could have emotionally manipulated them to take on their burdens. And this is part of that seeking external validation. So they could be seeking a way out of the life that they have created. At the same time, with this King of Pentacles, they may want to keep the financial status that they have. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what's attached to this financial status is people who are aware of their vulnerabilities and is basically preying on this person's ability to attract wealth as well. So it's kind of like whatever ideas this masculine energy I'm picking up on has about wealth is going to have to change, because their perception about wealth is making it so that they can be taken advantage of by people who don't have their best interest. And with this Wheel of Fortune, this is basic. It's kind of like what goes around comes around. So let's get some messages from the Art of War. Sun Tzu says, regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you into the deepest valleys. Treat others as you want them to treat you. The way you treat people will dictate how you are treated. Although some will always be mean, while others will always be kind. If you treat people with patience, kindness, and understanding, you will live a happier life. If you are loyal and caring, your friends will be loyal and caring to you. So I'm picking up this is the masculine energy that we're tapping into. You can learn from them, because how they treated people with their financial stability is coming back to them. And part of the way they mistreated people is based off of them not investing into emotional regulation, and choosing to put their energy into maintaining external validation. I'm feeling like at one point they felt as if things will always be in their favor, and they feel as if they would always have a safe space away from the chaos that they help contribute to, and some of the chaos that they created. However, with the emotional vulnerabilities coming into play, one of the reasons they mistreated others with their wealth was because they didn't exactly have patience. They were afraid of their kindness being taken advantage of. And they also understood that if they were on common ground with people, that false sense of superiority that they had would reveal their inferiority. And they were aware of the people that they were around who would take advantage of them feeling inferior. I feel like they also felt like they had very loyal friends as well. However, these people are seeking the masculine energy I'm picking up on. While they may be financially stable, they're seeking a way out of this lifestyle that they live in, but they want to be able to maintain that financial stability. Now, friendship is also very important to them, so that's why the frenemy dynamics that they cultivated they put a lot of energy into the external validation, because they could have felt that they had understanding, loyal friends, but they weren't exactly aware of the motivations behind some of the connections. So we have friendship makes you rich beyond measure. What is a friend? A friend is someone special in your life. Someone you know, warts and all. A friend knows that you are not perfect and that you don't agree on everything all the time, but you still love each other. We can look up the word friendship in the dictionary, but the meaning is really only known in our hearts. So Sun Tzu said, "We cannot enter into alliance with neighboring princes until we are acquainted with their designs. We are not fit to lead an army on the march unless we are familiar with the face of the country, its mountains and forests, its pitfalls and precipices, its marshes and swamps." So, what you can learn from this person's actions is to take your time getting to know people. I feel as if this person, whatever their childhood was like, they could have quickly formed friendships that seemed to basically, that seemed like loyalty to them. But one of the reasons they also want to maintain that financial independence is because they feel that's the only way they will attract loyal people. Also, they could have been ostracized leadership skill wise. I'm picking up that during their developing stages and ages, they were not supported when they attempted to step into leadership roles. With the King of Pentacles here, this is letting me know one of their skill sets was being able to secure that bag. So, not only did they neglect to build that self-acceptance that is required if you can naturally attract finances? They egotistically wanted to lead others, and they wanted their financial state to be the reason that they were chosen. Perhaps this was a people that they looked up to in childhood. Perhaps this was a people that they the social dynamics. It seemed as if the more finances you have, the more people will follow you. But they were misled as well with bad advice, because the people who could have given them that advice didn't tell them about the struggles that come with that lifestyle that they chose. So I'm picking up that perhaps they were influenced in childhood to become financially stable. They could have definitely learned by watching that if you have finances, things go in your favor, but they lacked cultivating emotional awareness, discipline, things of that nature. So it's like I'm seeing that to rise in the ranks to get their positions, they probably acted extremely nice, like they saw the people around them act with the people that had the finances. But when they got the finances, their emotional state didn't change because they didn't do any changes. So when someone would trigger any unhealed emotional wounds in them, they would go above and beyond to mistreat them. But they also could have hid this as well so that they could appear to as if they have the ideal life. So there could have been a lot of passive aggressive things. But at the same time, they also wanted to build a legacy with a group of people. At the same time, the energy that they put out, they attracted. So this is telling me that a masculine energy could be receiving karma for how they mistreated others when they got into a position of authority. It's not that people who have money are naturally horrible. It's the factors that we're taking into consideration is whatever they experienced in childhood, they carry with them into adulthood, and they also try to normalize their reactions to emotional triggers in adulthood. But with the King of Pentacles, they also knew how to politic when they were triggered. So if they did do anything where it was taking advantage of someone, they did it behind closed doors. But now that they are receiving back that same treatment that they put on others, they're seeking to leave the lifestyle behind that they've built, but they want to maintain that financial security. And that's normal, if they've gotten accustomed to it. But there may be some sacrifices that come in that are required of them. With that death card, they may have people who may simply want to put it into their reign. However that shows up. So they're going to have to make some sacrifices, because I'm picking up on a masculine energy who is being targeted by frenemy dynamics, and they're trying to take that person out by emotionally manipulating them. It's like they'll try to set them up with emotional manipulation. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. We also have the Lovers and the Knight of Cups. Let's talk about it. So we're talking about the same masculine energy from prior, the one that's in the spotlight, supported by the Six of Wands, the one who they're very charming, but their downfall is lack of emotional awareness, regulation, and discipline. Part of that lifestyle came with having many offers in romance. But the romances that they attracted, it feels, if they're still accepting the romances, it feels like work to them with the Seven of Pentacles. The romance doesn't actually feel satisfying. It feels more so like it's a 9 to 5 for them at this point. And that feeling could have happened unexpectedly. It's like they could be getting a dose of reality with the options and decisions that they have. So it's kind of like when it comes to romance, they may be trying to figure out how to maneuver through the politics that come with certain people. For example, the fact that they have financial stability, this could be showing up as them attracting partners who they have to stay on their toes with constantly. And the fact that they put so much internal work into maintaining the positive aspect of seeking external validation, word could have got out about how they maneuver. So with this Knight of Pentacles, they're learning to move more carefully, because their enemies could be going above and beyond to emotionally assault them by sending in love options to get them off their path. It's like the more that this masculine energy I'm picking up tries to focus on themselves so that they can get away from all the chaos and drama, their frenemy dynamics may be sending love offers to them, and they may be acting as if they don't know anything about it, but they just may be sitting back and watching, trying to see how the person responds. They may be getting a lot of individuals trying to get their attention based off of having information about their emotional vulnerabilities. So I'm picking up on a masculine energy where their frenemies may be trying to humiliate them by exposing their emotional vulnerabilities. Where before they would have they could have gassed the person up to get so comfortable to the point where the person was just like, you know what, I'm good, I got loyal friends, I got all this and that. But now it's more so the person feels very emotionally vulnerable, like they did in a state of childhood. So the frenemy dynamics that they're associated with could be sending people their way to distract them, and seeing and monitoring how that person is responding, monitoring to see if that person, if it's starting to get to them, like, I'm just trying to focus on work, I'm not trying to focus on getting no pussy or getting no dick, if they go both ways, you know what I'm saying? So they're having to move carefully now, because they can no longer deny that their reputation has changed with the Knight of Cups. It's not being viewed as the Emperor anymore. The frenemy dynamics that they're connected to has been strategically putting out information about their emotional vulnerabilities. At the same time, they know they can't go straight in for the kill, so they're sending in romantic offers. Sun Tzu said, "He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight." So pick your battles. As in war, so in family life, some battles or arguments cannot be won. All families argue, whether it's parents arguing with each other, parents with children, or siblings with each other. Communication is key in establishing boundaries. If you have to argue, don't lose your temper. Be rational and deliberate. But remember, sometimes it's more important to move on. I'm also picking up on the frenemy dynamics, using this person's emotional vulnerabilities to get them to be irrational and to stay stuck on an issue. So the masculine energy I'm picking up on could be doing their very best to move on. And because they put so much work into getting respect from their community with their finances by investing into external validation, their lesson here is to establish boundaries. The frenemy dynamics they have can have become their idea of family and things of that nature. So even if they do leave in this current state that they have with the finances that they have, they'll more than likely connect with other people who have this dynamic of basically trying to take power from someone by being connected to them. And this was a war strategy highly used in royal families. And then we have work fast and tidily. Once you have started a job or project, pull all your focus onto it to make sure you complete it as quickly as possible. Give yourself a deadline and make sure you complete it within that time frame, so it doesn't impinge on other things that you need to do. Also, I'm picking up with pick your battles. Their frenemy dynamics could be discussing their emotional state in a negative manner. So it's like, while they could be learning how to healthily pick their battles, the frenemy dynamics could be negatively narrating the disagreements that they have in order to get this person to become irrational and deliberate, to become irrational and to become indecisive, so that the person has difficulty moving on, and so that the person can become very defensive. What you can learn from this is the importance of focus. Because this person, they're so focused on, being seen in a certain manner, their enemies are using their desire for a healthy public image to expose their emotional state. What you can learn from this situation is to give yourself deadlines and to complete it. That way, no matter what type of distractions that external negative forces can start, by using gossip to get their target to become defensive. And then, saying, okay, we told you. You see what we said about such and such? Giving yourself a deadline will be able to have concrete proof that you have been doing what you need to do. Because more so, what I'm picking up, the people connected, the frenemy dynamics connected to this masculine energy, they're not actually doing anything that's going to establish them on their own. They're using arguing as a way to gain power and control over people. So more than likely, they're neglecting their basic responsibilities. Sun Tzu said, "Let your rapidity be that of the wind, your compactness of that of the forest." So also I'm picking up the way this person is being defensive. They're not aware that this is connected to childhood trauma. The best way to win is not to fight. There's people trying to take their financial foundation by basically wanting to narrate them as being incompetent of being able to protect themselves. And their ego, it's like they're feeding into their ego with not wanting to be viewed as someone who can protect themselves, but also at the same time, when their frenemies are using external sources to pick arguments with these people, and then they're going and saying, so such and such is doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. The defensiveness is coming in. Like they're becoming extremely defensive. So they care so much at this particular point in time how they're viewed if they do not protect themselves, because they're afraid of losing their financial foundation. And with know yourself and know your partner, their partners could be turning against them as well. So this goes back to be mindful of how you treat others. I feel for this person to close out a karmic cycle, they're going to have to just start from scratch. And I don't think they want to do that. I feel like their frenemies is telling them to do everything except the right thing. And whoever impacted them in childhood, the biggest thing they were supposed to learn from it was to wisely pick their battles. Let's get one more message. So, we have the Knight of Swords. It fell out and flipped over. Then we also have the Ten of Cups, and we also have the Nine of Swords here. Supporting the Nine of Swords, the Three of Cups and the Six of Cups is standing out. So let's talk about this. This made itself apparent. Childhood friends could be a source of great stress for these people. The dynamics that they have become, it's like they've been put in a box. It's like in childhood, whatever happened in their childhood where the lesson, the generational curse that they were supposed to break, and maybe they will break it, but that's not my, I don't know if that's going to happen. They were supposed to learn to pick their battles. So in childhood, they could have been groomed to be a certain way because, it provided a safe sense of community among their community. So in their community, they could have been, viewed a certain way as long as they fit in that box, and they wanted to have a sense of community. Community is extremely important to them, especially in the community that they grew up in. But at the same time, you could only have community if you fit into a box in the community that they grew up in. And this conditioning in adulthood is one of their biggest fears, because the people that know, okay, this person is this way, and if they start acting a certain way, this is how you get them to get back in line. It's like they're having nightmares about how the people that got used to benefiting off of the image that they put out externally, they're having nightmares about how these people are basically able to benefit off of the work that they're putting in. And this is where the established boundaries part came in. They know that if they say to these people, hey, we need to establish boundaries, it's like they're getting signs and omens that these people that they have grew up with, who is exploiting whatever level of success that they have garnered, is going behind their back and talking about them. Now the Knight of Swords flipped over in reverse. So let me, this is impairing their natural ability to think solution oriented. So this is impairing their ability to be solution oriented. You can't be friends with everyone. Friends do what they do because they are our friends and we love them. They do it because they know it is the right thing to do. But while some people can be our friends, others cannot. The difference is that friends can be inconvenient, annoying, troublesome, expensive, and taxing, but we will forgive them. Then we have Sun Tzu said, the general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom. So I feel like this person maybe thought fame would allow them to be able to afford and establish a lifestyle in which people would automatically respect them. But when it came to actually having to establish boundaries, this is where they thought if they politicked and went along with what was happening in that moment, they thought getting fame and getting that foundation for finances would have those people just simply get off their backs. No, those people used the knowledge that they people from their past that they grew up with. Those people use that knowledge of their emotional conditioning and grooming to basically keep them around. So part of the reason that this masculine energy is not able to move forward to get away from the situations that is no longer serving them. It wasn't serving them, but at one point there was a comfortability to it, and now it's just plain uncomfortable. They're not able to be solution oriented because they're stressing out about the people that is basically emotionally manipulating them and taking advantage of them. Then we have plan ahead. Don't make it up as you go along. Life is full of decisions. Some people put off or ask for advice. No, some people put them off or ask for advice. Others simply stick a pen in a list. In reality, you need to use intuition, reason, or a combination. Intuition is more suited to simple and quick decisions. More complicated reasoning requires a formal, structured approach, using reason, facts, and figures to decide whether the answer they lead to is right. Then we have Sun Tzu said, ponder and deliberate before you make a move. Before I'm picking up with treat people how you want to be treated, this person could have used emotional manipulation to get their way. And because they, had that friend group and they stayed in their place, they were able to get away with it. If they got something, the other people saw it as a benefit as well. They were like, okay, I can use this as a benefit myself. So they possibly used emotional manipulation to take advantage of people. But the amount of stress that they're undergoing with having to try to figure out how to protect themselves from how these people are trying to sabotage them at every angle. For example, when it says pick your battles, if they don't pick a battle, the people will try to, narrate them as not being able to protect themselves. If they do protect themselves, the people are saying, hey, you're being irrational. And it's like they're doing stuff to contribute to this person not being able to make clear, concise decisions. With this Knight of Swords and this Nine of Swords here, and this Three of Cups here, the people are basically whatever energy that they put out, they're attracting this back. So their so-called friends are trying to keep the benefits that this person has coming by any means necessary. No, they're not friends, not at all. But they're trying to basically keep the benefits that come with having this person around. And this is based off, and this is people that they don't know how to get away from. This is people that groomed them and conditioned them to act a certain way. And the lesson they were supposed to learn in childhood was pick your battles. So I feel as if, whatever environment they grew up in, the community they grew up in, it was like, look, we need help and we got to help each other. But what the environment that they grew up in could have just blatantly said, we don't know how to survive on our own. So we basically cling to others. If you have aspirations to be something big, we're going to cling to you. Because that means if you have aspirations to make something of yourself, then that means if you have the energy to put into it to make that shit come true, then that means it's a possibility it might take off. And I'm going to tag along, but you have to basically, the box that we put you in, This is how you can only go about it, because with my skill sets and your skill sets, and we put all this together and it works in a certain way, it can work. So with don't burn your bridges. In life, things will not always go your way. Whatever happens, always keep lines of communication open. Never burn your bridges with friends, colleagues, or with clients. Acting on impulse may lead to destruction that is hard and impossible to reverse. Focus instead on the positive and on happiness in everything you do. So what I'm picking up here, it would keep your cool showing up. This person is trying to keep their cool, but the people that is psychologically torturing them, they know exactly that this person is extremely angry. Sun Tzu said, anger may in time change to gladness. Vexation may be succeeded by content. But a kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come back again into being. Nor can the dead ever be brought back to life. So I'm picking up, however this person went above and beyond to get their financial stability, they're in regret. They more than likely burned bridges with people that they emotionally manipulated, who actually had their best interests. And so when they started attracting more people like them, those people started banding together against them, just in case that person decided to have a change of heart about how things were supposed to turn out. And now this person is reflecting on, the simplicity of healthy dynamics that that is no longer present. It's like, even if they were to have conversations with the people that they burned bridges with, now so much damage was done in order for them to get that financial stability. That they have to accept to move on from the past. And part of the reason that they're in the predicament that they're in is that they're not willing to move on from the past. And the frenemy dynamics know this, so they use this to keep this person in a constant state of fear. Whatever they did to get that financial independence, those people, the frenemy dynamics that they're connected to, they psychologically torture that person, and that person does everything to keep their cool, but they know that person is angry, so that they can enjoy the benefits of that person's hard work. They don't exactly care if this person self-destructs along the way. They just simply want to be able to take what they can from the person. Now, this cycle of self-sabotage to this nature, this is going to be their downfall, because if they start looking for someone else to do this cycle to, they're showing that they don't exactly have the skill sets to survive on their own. Now we have evolution, not evolution. No, we have evolution, not revolution. And we have the 10 of Cups here. I feel like with the beginning messages of this person wanting to take their finances with them, and they want to start fresh, but at the same time, there's way too many karmic contracts that they're connected to. And I'm picking up on the frenemies that they're connected to, utilizing their associations to force karmic contracts on this person as well. So this person is not really having the best time of their lives. And this is why I mentioned a sacrifice. They may have to walk away from their finances in order to be able to see things clearly. But one of the reasons, of course, they want to hold onto those finances is because they understand the freedom that comes with it. But mentally, they don't have any freedom. Emotionally, they don't have any freedom. So this is why it's easy for the frenemy dynamics to financially exploit them. Life is a long journey, but you will not travel on your own. Make plans for the short, medium, and long terms. Ensure that the plans flow into each other like a stream into a river and on into the ocean. Get the process right and the rewards will flow. So what I'm also picking up with get the process right, the way this person went about getting rewards, they compromise so much of themselves that others are exploiting their internal struggles. Sun Tzu said, in respect of military method, we have, firstly, measurement. Secondly, estimation of quantity. Thirdly, calculation. Fourthly, balancing of chances. Fifthly, victory. Measurement owes its existence to earth. Estimation of quantity to measurement. Calculation to estimation of quantity. Balancing of chances to calculation. And victory to balancing of chances. And underneath we have learn your lessons. So this lesson that this person's supposed to be learning is connected to family. Whatever they did to get those rewards that has them in contact with people who is forcing karmic contracts onto them, is having them become aware of what they chose not to learn before they got saddled with financial independence. But if you truly think about it, there's no financial independence here, because the truth of the matter is they're being exploited due to their emotional and mental state. And while they're trying to get out of these circumstances and situations that others are creating for them and acting as if they're not. And this is unplanned stuff for them. They're experiencing tower moments. The things that they considered irrelevant is now showing up as what they wish they would have invested that time into before they got rewards that came with strings attached. So we're going to end the message here. I feel like this person that we channeled does have family aspirations, but the way they went about getting financial independence kept them from being able to have a happy family. And maybe they want a happy family now, but whatever they did to get those finances, the bridge has been burnt with whoever they emotionally manipulated, that for them to actually be able to experience a happy family, they're going to have to start completely from scratch. And that is the tower moment for them, because if they choose to stay where they're at, it's like, you got people that's, how the royal families betrayed each other. It's like destroying each other from inside out to take that position. and then to negatively narrate that person and say that when this person was in power, we felt powerless. But then it's kind of like afterwards, you have bigger tyrants than the people that were in power before. So if they choose to keep their financial status, their financial independence, which is not really financial independence because they're being exploited, they're going to have to deal with treachery. For them to actually experience a happy family of choice, they're going to have to leave the past behind, take those lessons with them, and start a happy family with brand new people, you know. But I'm picking up on these people wanting to have that sense of safety and stability that they felt with the people that they burned bridges with. We're going to end the message here, and I hope this served you guys well.